So moving on in the 3D world, I know I said to make the 2D shape first wherever possible and then extrude. You can of course add and subtract and manipulate the 3D objects in a sort of similar way that we did with the 2D objects. It's a different menu though. So if I overlap two 3D objects here and look in the model, making sure I have both objects selected, or as many objects as I need selected. If I go into model, I've got these four commands at the top, much like I did with the 2D objects, which are add, surface, clip, surface, intersect, and combine. This time for 3D objects, I've got add, subtract, intersect, and section. So just going through each one of these. Add solids, as you might expect, takes the two shapes, and now when I click on it, it says it's a solid addition. Now something really interesting happens with solid additions. It's not a complete what's the word for it? It's not a one-time operation. If I double click on it, I can go back and move the two shapes around a little bit. I can even change some of the parameters of them, and then exit, and I've got the new shape. So the shape is manipulatable. I'm not sure if that's a word, but I'll stick with it. So that shape will remain like that. It will remain a solid addition for forever, unless you do one last thing, which is to convert into a generic solid. The only benefit of converting into a generic solid here would be that it takes up less file space. If I do that, it says if you want to convert an object to generic solid, it cannot be edited. So it's warning you that yes, I've done that. Now I can't edit any parameters of that at all. So if your drawing has lots and lots of 3D objects which are made from adding, subtracting 3D shapes from themselves, then it might be worth having a little think about whether it might be beneficial to convert them to generic solids, and you should see the size of your file come down a fair bit, because the Vectorworks doesn't need to remember all those individual shapes. So we'll look at another couple of those commands in the model. If you go to model, subtract, so like you might imagine, it subtracts one from the other, but what it doesn't know is which one you want to keep. It may seem obvious to us, but all Vectorworks is asking is which one do you want to be the object. So it does say select object. Most of the time it makes a pretty good guess. In this occasion it's thought that I wanted to chop out this weird triangle shape from this lump that I've made here. You go, yeah, okay, but if you want to select different objects by clicking the arrows here, you can change which object remains. So we'll say yes, and we've chopped out that kind of strange shape there. It's kind of quite interesting actually. I'll just undo that and go back again. The intersect makes a new shape from the intersecting shape, and the section solids takes a little bit of setting up. We'll just put this object, this triangle, and then back to here just now, just to give us another shape. So for this one here, the section, I'm going to need to do a 3D polygon. So a 3D polygon is a polygon, but it will also exist in the 3D world. So I'm going to choose excuse me, 3D polygon from the 3D modeling tool set here. It's a 3D polygon, and I'm just going to draw a big rectangle around the objects. I'm going to use the smart point there to acquire that, and there we go. So that's a 3D polygon, which means that I can go to the front view and move it around in 3D. So we'll put one there. We'll take a rotation tool there and we'll slice it up through the object like that. So when we spin it around, we've got a planar object going through our 3D objects. Put a bit of rendering on, so it should be a bit more obvious. Okay. Should see there's a little bit of glitching there because they're occupying the same space, but it's okay. So you can kind of see what's happening there. So now with our, so I'll just go back to a slightly better view. I'm going to select everything using Command A, or you could do draw a box around them, but I tend to just use Command A and then do Model Section Solids, and it's actually asking for the sectioning object. What's the object? We can retain it if I want to keep this planar object here, which is slicing through. If I want, if I uncheck it, then it will get rid of one side of this. The select object is normally the last one drawn. It's a pretty good guess at what's going on. So if I do OK, and you can see that that's sectioned. I can reverse the section here, so if I want the bottom one there, that's what I want. So that again allows me to do some pretty complex shapes. So have a little play around with putting some 3D objects together by gluing together, subtracting, sectioning things, just like I've done here, and then I'll give you a task in the next tutorial. Screencast. Tutorial. Screencast. Bye.